And we are live. Oh,
Yeah. Making you fumble. My bad.
Fumbled.
My bad.
Man, fumbled his water bottle, man. That's crazy. But hello, everyone, and welcome back to an episode of Debates. I'm your fellow co-host Dibo and my other co-host Matt.
Pleasure to be back. Typically, we're here on Tuesdays, but we did a little rescheduling. Got here on Wednesday, but glad to be here.
Absolutely, personal issues from yours truly, but this Wednesday we are here and we are blessed, man.
It turned out well. Yesterday was like nice weather. Today's kind of windy, so I don't mind it. I don't mind being indoors when it's windy. Because yesterday we were able to enjoy the weather.
Right, absolutely. And it's going to be great weather throughout the rest of the week as well, too.
I think it might snow 60s. On the weekend.
No way. No.
I either heard it's going to snow or be great on the weekend.
Bro, I checked like this morning. It's going to be like near the 60s, low 60s from Thursday to Sunday on Easter.
Ooh.
So for it to snow, then that's wild. I don't know who your sources are, man, but to me,
that's per sources.
They're kind of inaccurate. They're very inaccurate.
I'm playing. Well, yeah. I'll bring it up with Channel 7. Channel
7? Word.
But I do got to talk to you. Obviously, you have your MLS page. Shout out MLS District. And I was at an MLS game this past weekend. Rapids versus Dynamo. It was the first MLS game I've been to in, I want to say, like 2 or 3 years. I do have to say, I feel like the product has got worse.
The product has got worse?
At least from like a Rapids perspective.
From a Rapids perspective.
I mean, which makes sense because it's the Rapids. But like, back in the day, Rapids games used to be like packed out. And like, this was probably 2/3 full.
Bro, there used to be a lot more fans too, especially a decade ago.
Well, that was when they won the MLS Cup.
They won it, they won it in 2010, early. 20.
So my buddy was the one who bought the tickets. And yesterday he was telling me he got a call from like, not altitude, but like some Rapids personnel. And they were basically asking him if he wanted free tickets for the next game. Like, that's how bad they need more people to come.
Free tickets?
Yeah.
Hey, man, slide us some free tickets.
I'm trying to get it from you.
Even though the footy is pretty mediocre, like we can't create chances at all. Our offense is not good compared to the rest of the league.
No, Navarro's god awful.
He's fucking garbage.
He's garbage.
I'm sorry. Him coming from the Brazilian league, I expected much more from him. Looking at his tape, but at the same time, like, ever since he's been with us, complete garbage.
He's
not good at all.
Good. Jonathan Lewis's ass.
Been ass for years. Yeah. He should have been gone.
Yeah.
Bro, oh my God, the handball he had. I think it was against, I forgot the team, but it was with the second game of the season. That was one of the dumbest handballs I've ever seen in my life. Why is your hand sticking all the way up when you had so much space to control the ball? I never understood that. But you have time to control the ball. Why do you need to use your hand, like this area of your body, to test the ball down? No, there was nobody near you.
I think there were like 2 or 3 times this past weekend where we were just watching. And he would cross the ball into the box without looking at where the runners were.
Speed merchant with no end product, bro.
Yeah.
Like I'm sorry, he seems like a nice guy, but he's got to go. Other players too. Cabral, he's so trash. Cabral's so bad.
Yeah, the front three didn't really do anything.
No, like Connor Ronan, bro, he does so much for us offensively. I feel so bad for him.
He's hurt right now, right?
Bro, I would. No, I went on a trip to Cancun last week, bro. I'm completely out of the blue, man.
Fair.
I couldn't follow any coverage because of different country, international.
Fair. The midfield looked good though. Ollie had a decent game. Ollie Larraz had a decent game, and then Bassett was man of the match, even though they lost.
He's gotten better compared to his start of him returning to the team from the Dutch league.
Yeah.
So I'll give him that. Yeah.
He looked good. The Rapids lost like usual though.
Yeah.
So
we fucking sucked this year again. Another bad season.
I thought it was gonna be different with all the transfers. I thought maybe they could sneak into an 8 seed.
The Zach Stefan and Mihailovic transfers, they sold me a dream.
There's big names.
They sold me a
Milovanovic hasn't
dream.
been good.
No, he hasn't.
Yeah.
Especially for us paying him as much money as we're giving him right now. It's a situation, but we're used to it. And yeah, man, we got a lot more months to go in this season. Am I excited about this team? Hell no. Are we gonna keep getting our asses kicked? Probably, most likely, yeah. But yeah, man, that's a lot of a Raptors fan. You just gotta take the little good and a lot of bad. So hey, at the end of the day, it is what it is.
This is what it is. Can't have all good sports teams. Got to have one bad one.
No, yeah, I have one bad one. Yeah,
But you want to get into our agenda for today?
yeah, absolutely. Uh, we talked about a little bit of soccer for you soccer fanatics out there, but on the rest of our agenda, for my question to wrap up this introduction, we're gonna get into that soon. But throughout the rest of these segments, we're obviously gonna get into the Jontay Porter gambling saga that is going down right now, as well as the NFL officially banning the hip drop tackle, and with our main segment with NFL free agency, the main stage pretty much wrapped up.
Yeah.
We're going to go over our winners and losers. 3 winners and losers each from us. So
works for me.
yeah, we're going to get lit.
All right, what was this introductory question that you were hyping up?
Yeah, man. So the rap game, hip hop, that genre, it's going wild right now in the community.
Yeah.
Obviously, Metro Boomin and Future, they recently dropped an album last week, and with one of the main songs on that record was the track Like That, I believe. And the featured artist, Kendrick Lamar, he had something to say. He had something to say off his chest. And with this verse, that was heat, but with the verse, he was cooking Drake and J. Cole. It was a diss. So with this main question I wanted to ask you, man.
Yeah.
Drake, Cole, and Kendrick. Who was better out of the 3?
I got Drake. I mean, Drake to me is the best hit maker there is. Now, do I think he has better lyrical brilliance than J. Cole? No. I think J. Cole can hop on any beat and have better flow than almost anybody. So musician wise, or artist or talent wise, I probably wouldn't have Drake number 1. But when you go down the albums and you go down all the songs, who has the most hits?
Drake.
It's Drake.
Yeah.
It's Drake. And that he probably has the most of all time, just quantity wise. He also is putting out a lot of songs. It is a lot of swing and misses, but he does have a lot of hits. Number 2, I would have J. Cole. It feels wrong putting Kendrick at 3, but I would have Kendrick at 3.
Damn, that's he doesn't get it, folks. He doesn't get it. To me, but which I understand your opinion. Okay, that's fair. Yeah. That's fair. But with ranking the big 3, I have Kendrick at 1. I feel like he's, from an artistry standpoint and a rapping standpoint, I just think he's a whole nother tier, whole nother level above the other 2, Drake and J. Cole. I feel from his discography, really anybody from his generation, I just don't think they can match with him as well. But moving on to, probably would say Drake, and then lastly, I'll give the nod to J. Cole.
That's fair. Looking back, I might put Kendrick above J. Cole. I don't know. I feel like I haven't heard any good Kendrick recently. I didn't like the newest album.
You didn't?
The Mr. Morrow.
Damn, it's not for everybody. It's not for everybody.
But
which I will admit, it's from his entire discography, all of his albums he's put out over the years. It's my least listened to album.
But To Pimp a Butterfly, no. Is there a bad song in that album?
No.
Exactly.
Good Kid, Mad City.
That was a good ass album, but
misses.
every song just got overplayed. Every song.
Yeah, the main hits was overplayed for sure. Especially Humble.
I want to ask you, what is your favorite song by each of the artists?
My favorite song, I think Kendrick. I don't know if it's my favorite, but based on Kill My Vibe, it's been in a heavy rotation, especially the remix too. That's been lit. That's been very lit.
Okay, Drake.
That's
the problem, bro. There's too much to choose from.
Jeez. That's true. That's very true. Like you said, Drake got a lot of hits.
Oops, I didn't mean. Hopefully, we won't get copyright for that.
No, we're not getting caught. Oh my god, I'm kind of blanking. 'Cause I got so many to choose from.
I'll go down every Drake song. Not every Drake song, but I'll give you some of the hits. God's Plan, I don't think you'll have.
Fuck no.
Forever, we're not counting as a Drake song. Over would be mine, but you have Nice for What, Headlines, Best I Ever Had.
Headlines. Oh, I'm gonna say headlines. We'll say headlines.
Headlines, okay.
I'll say headlines.
Okay.
Well, it's been my favorite since I was like a little kid.
Headlines, yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. But whenever like my mom used to take me to games like for basketball at the YMCA, local YMCA. But I used to remember like the headlines always playing on the radio. I think 95.7. And I was just like sitting in the back of the car, just getting lit in the back, just like rap. It's like in my mind, just like rapping to the lyrics. So yeah, it's a personal favorite of mine.
I remember that song coming out when we were kids, and my favorite line was like "drinking every night because we drink through my accomplishments."
Yeah,
like just singing that verse every time. And then J. Cole.
I remember when I was in middle school when KOD dropped.
Ooh,
I used to love ATM. ATM was a banger. ATM was a banger because they used to play. That was the NBA playoff theme song that year on ESPN. That was great. I loved the production for that. ESPN
they had Humble for Kendrick as one of the songs.
Yeah, back to back years.
Yeah.
That was like the peak NBA playoff production, bringing those two artists for their commercials and promos. But favorite J. Cole song. Oh my God. I don't want this to drag on too long, but apparently all four shows drive.
Good choice.
Yeah.
Good choice. I respect it.
Yeah.
I respect it. That's a valid list. I got no complaints with it. But, all right, Jontay Porter then?
Yeah, let's get into Jontay Porter in this gambling saga. Brother, I believe older brother of Nuggets, Michael Porter Jr. And I got this in my notes. Toronto Raptors forward Jontay Porter is under investigation by the NBA following multiple instances of betting irregularities over the past several months from games on January 26th and March 20th, according to ESPN. I got on my notes as well, too. At least one other U.S. sportsbook detected unusual betting interest on the Porter props in the games in question. A sportsbook industry, which wasn't named, told ESPN that multiple betting accounts attempted to bet large amounts, upward of $10,000 and $20,000 on Porter unders in the January 26th game versus the Los Angeles Clippers, which compared to regular betting limits on player props, they're typically around $1,000 to $2,000 with the betting limits.
Yeah. It's kind of crazy what's going on in the sports world with gambling. I know we don't really focus on baseball a lot, but it's kind of hard not to hear all the news that's going on with Shohei Ohtani right now and what's going on there. Obviously, the Jontay Porter situation here, it's an unfortunate consequence of what happens when gambling and betting becomes part of the game. And the worst part is that it seems like it's only going to get worse as time continues.
It's going to get way worse. And I would like to get this out the way. I do not mind people gambling at all. It's not my money. It is your money. But at the same time, with these professional sports leagues like the MLB, NBA, and NFL getting more and more involved with prop bets and promoting gambling to their consumers, along with major sports industry publications like an ESPN and Bleacher Report getting into this as well. It's just very bad, and I think it's borderline predatory, especially for the younger demographics.
I just think that it's bad when all these leagues are like doing the advertisements for the companies. Like, I think the league should at least separate itself, because then it's like, oh, we're separating ourselves. We hold the players to the same standard.
Yeah, and with some of these broadcasted games, you can't avoid it at all.
Yeah.
Like with these talk shows, NBA Countdown,
Inside the TNT.
inside the NBA. They have their main guys like showing the audience all these prop bets and giving their predictions on who's gonna hit it or not. And I'll just say this: I love Charles Barkley, but what the fuck does he know about gambling?
Nah, never take a Charles Barkley pick. That's losing your money right there.
You don't guarantee it.
The Charles. How often does a Charles guarantee actually hit?
Not at all.
Not at all.
Not at all.
But
yeah.
I think what's worse than like, because inside the crew, sure, that's one thing. But like when you're literally watching a game, there'll be like the little FanDuel pop up, and it's like the over under at the beginning of the game was this, but now it's this. Do you think it'll be over or under? Or it's like LeBron's points was started at 27.5, but they've gone down to 24.5. Do you think he'll hit the over under?
Yeah.
And they're doing that mid game, and that's kind of where like. I just think it's a little too much.
Yeah, it's too much. And with players in the league, they're seeing all these advertisements, which could possibly lead them down this downward path of them, picking these picks consistently. And we already saw that with the NFL as well too, with multiple players like Calvin Ridley, Jameson Williams being suspended for these instances.
The interesting thing, though, is that the NBA, if you're found guilty of sports betting, I mean, it might be a case-by-case situation, but it's like a lifetime ban from the league in the NBA, whereas the NFL is like a 1 to 2 year ban. I don't know why they would have different punishments.
They're gonna throw the fucking book at Porter, like he's not gonna play another minute in the NBA again.
I mean, yeah. I mean, when you're, like, already like he is, you're not high in the pecking order on the depth chart. You're already, like, only getting minutes because Jakob Poeltl is out for an extended period of time.
Scotty Barnes fucked up his
like, when you're already, like, a bench warmer, you can't be doing stuff like this and expecting to stay employed.
No. Like, he's screwed.
Yeah.
He's really screwed when it comes to playing the NBA again.
But I don't know. I think that there's a lot more going on that we don't know about.
What do you mean?
Like, I think there's way more players gambling.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. And we're probably not going to know for some of these players, especially the, like, higher status players. But, yeah, there's a lot more people gambling on these games.
But, yeah. But, I mean, if you're investing in DraftKings or FanDuel, I mean, your money's you're getting your returns on your money.
Oh, no, it's going stupid for sure.
But, yeah.
For sure.
And that's the thing is, like, the only thing that's really going to put a blanket on DraftKings and FanDuel and, like, sports betting just as a general market is government regulation. It's not going to be, like, people aren't going to lose interest in sports. As you know, like, gambling's a very addictive thing. One win, one hot streak, and you're set, like, for your life. Oh, and people realize that, and so that they want to have fun. They want to let loose when they're outside of work, which is understandable. But it's just a dangerous game. It's a dangerous game.
Very, very dangerous.
But yeah, you got any other comments on Jontay Porter?
But you see that one clip of like him shooting the three and making it accidentally? That was also the game where he was betting on his unders too as well.
Damn.
Yeah.
Hitting a three when you never take them while betting your under, that's painful.
Yeah, he banked the shit in. And I also got one more thing. As a professional athlete, why the fuck you bet on your unders to begin with?
Yeah, for real.
Like Keyshawn Boot, I believe he bet on his overs too as well. Like you don't have like any confidence in yourself to hit on those numbers?
No.
Damn.
No. I mean
that's tough.
I mean that's called playing it safe though.
Playing it safe. But
because you could I feel like I don't know. Like as a player, yeah, I feel like betting your over almost incentivizes you to go out there and play better.
Yeah.
Like if you're betting your under, he's putting like big money, like you said, 10,000 on his under. Let's say his over is 5.5 and he's at 4 points. What the fuck is he supposed to do when he gets like a rim running layup? Like fumble. Like
yeah,
it's gonna be hard to make it's gonna be hard to make it look accidental.
I mean, he did fake an injury for both the games they mentioned in the report.
Man. Speaking of Jontay Porter, since he is a Toronto Raptor, they're going against my New York Knicks tonight. Mitchell Robinson back tonight. Round of applause for him.
Yeah, I saw that.
Get him back from injury. We'll see how he looks. But shall we move on to the Flag Football League?
Damn, Flag Football League is crazy.
Hey, did you hear what JJ Watt said?
Yeah. You might as well just fast forward to putting the flags on, that's completely fair. That is completely fair. But with this new reports from the National Football League, with what I got to say, the NFL has officially banned the hip drop tackle after a unanimous vote at the spring owners meetings. Now, a 15-yard penalty has been put in place if players perform the hip drop tackle as well. Again, Matt, he mentioned before we got to this Flag Football League. How do you feel?
I don't like it.
Brother, man, I agree.
I understand that as a league, you want to prioritize player safety, and we've seen that over the last couple of years, especially with the roughing the passer rule.
Yeah. Which is complete trash too.
But it's a contact sport. Like I understand the NFL doesn't want to have injuries, but it's not a utopia. Injuries are gonna happen. It's part of the sport, and I feel like what they've been doing these last couple years with no, you can't block towards the goal line or towards your goal line. The roughing the passer penalties, fining everybody for celebrating. Now this, it's kind of washing away the product.
It is. And
new kickoffs, which I don't know how that'll look.
I don't know about that one.
Yeah, I saw a video of it. I was like, I don't really like it.
XFL,
yeah,
it looks kind of wonky. I'm not gonna lie, it looks kind of wonky. But let me say this point: the NFL wants to say that they care about their players and their overall health. Mm-hmm. When these owners with these big stadiums, all stadiums in the league still haven't installed fully like natural grass.
Yeah.
Some of these stadiums are using turf.
Well, that you also got to remember there's an additional week in the season now, but not an additional bye week.
No.
So
it's stupid.
Yeah.
The NFL doesn't care about his players. We've been known this.
With one less bye week for teams in the playoffs as well.
Been known this. Yeah. Completely been known this.
Yeah.
And with this hip drop tackle, you can say whatever you want about player safety, but at the same time, you are single-handedly ruining an element of the game.
Yeah, you are. I was really surprised when it happened. I heard rumors about it, but it just feels like such a drastic step.
Yeah, it's very drastic, and they should have implemented this new rule on this preseason games to start it off, rather than just going straight into regular season, like the actual important games of the year. Mm-hmm. I thought that would have been a much better way to fully bring this into light.
Yeah, I wonder, because when the NBA introduces a new rule, refs typically give some leeway the first month and a half of the year. I'm kind of curious if the refs are going to make it a point of emphasis to call it right away to try to correct it, or if they're going to give some leeway towards it.
I think it's going to be like the pass interference call. You remember when they installed the booth review for reviewing potential pass interference calls?
Which they should have never taken away. They should have never taken it away. And when they did have it, refs were denying everything just because they didn't want to have an overturned call on their book.
No, not at all. I wouldn't have kept it.
I liked it. I mean, because
the pass interference is such a bang play though.
But it's exactly. But there's so many arguable PIs, and they're arguably the biggest. They can amount yardage wise to the biggest penalty possible.
Okay.
So I mean, I liked it because, games can be ruined by a PI. Games can be won and lost with the PI. So I liked it just as an option. It also gives the coaches it just gives the coaches another thing to do, so you can really test how good your coach is.
Okay.
In a sense.
But back to the hip drop tackle, obviously another rule that benefits offenses throughout the league.
Yep.
I just think, I'm just questioning with this new rule how our defense is gonna
Tackle.
Tackle. Yeah. Ironically, how our defense is gonna tackle this new situation because potentially, for these offenses, you can attack the flat with the tight ends, put them in the flat, and then that would completely expose the defense because with the hip drop tackle or I don't know, that's kind of BS anyway because like it's a regular tackle. Like if you talk to players who've been playing football since like Pee Wee days, like Pop Warner, they'll say it's a regular tackle, like the majority of them. But at the same time, if tight end is going on the perimeter from going on a flat route with the DBs, that puts them at a massive disadvantage.
Yeah. I mean, it's something we're seeing across all the sports. Like obviously NFL had their, or not NFL, NBA had their scoring problem that was like well publicized during the earlier part of this year, and now the NFL with the roughing the passer penalties, with the hip drop tackle now, like it's obviously meant to aid the offenses, and I don't know. I thought that it was interesting how it was a unanimous decision by the owners to vote to make it illegal. Like. You're telling me there's not one defensive guy in an owner's box who's like, oh, this doesn't seem right.
Nah, man. They don't want to see their players getting big injuries. Which, it's football at the end of the day. You can't avoid it.
I saw some funny videos. Do you remember? Have you ever seen the video where Aaron Rodgers throws the pick, but he has, like, the crazy hit stick?
Yeah.
They're like, they're going to have to start letting Aaron Rodgers line up on the defensive side to teach him how to tackle.
Nah, man, you can't let him do that. He's old, brother.
But it was more of a joke. But
well, yeah, I understand that. But I was just playing along.
But
yeah,
I don't know. It's gonna be tougher for defenses for sure.
Yeah,
it's gonna be tougher for defenses.
For sure. I don't think there's gonna be a massive boost offensively anyway. Like I think last year, it was lows all across the board. It was really bad.
The unders were the play for every game.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean. I don't know. Like you can do so much more to improve offenses throughout the league, other than removing basic defensive like strategies or making it less soft on that side of the ball. Like these O-lines are still bad. Like O-line development's at an all-time low. These QBs, the quarterback development is also at a low as well too. There's a lot more ways to tackle that situation. And I don't think that this is it.
No, it's not it. This is not the right way.
No.
I don't think so.
Mm-mm.
I don't think so. But yeah, like, I don't know. Is the NFL also, like, having a defensive problem? Because, like, in the NBA, we're obviously hearing, oh, it's an offensive problem. What do we do? Do we make it a 5-second violation in the paint? Do we eliminate charges? Do we do this? Do we do that? In the NFL, like, it's not a defensive problem. I don't really think there's an offensive problem. Like, I don't really know what. Like, sure, you could say you're trying to make injuries occur less, but, like, what are you really trying to solve? I don't know.
Hey, man, NFL's still going to make money at the end of the day.
Yeah, for real.
It doesn't really matter.
In Brazil now, too.
Brazil. Man, did you hear they're going to have 2 games on Christmas Day this season?
I didn't. I heard that they're going to have Christmas Day games on the Wednesday.
Yeah,
I didn't know.
they 2 games.
2 games.
Bro.
So what? Is there still going to be Thursday night football?
Yes.
Interesting. Short ass week for those teams. Imagine one of those teams plays on Monday night, and I got 1 day off and back on the field.
Nah, that's stupid.
Nah, both teams or all teams will probably have a bye the week before.
Yeah,
is what I'm assuming.
That should happen. It should happen. Yeah.
Should we get into winners and losers then?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
All right.
So winners and losers of free agency.
My fault.
You want to start us off, or you want me to start us off?
You can go first.
All right.
My fault for cutting you off.
You're all good. Let's start on a good note. Let's start with winners. My first winner of the episode is the Philadelphia Eagles. I really like what the Eagles did. Basically, everything that they did was a plus for me, minus the Jason Kelce retirement, which
is completely out of their control.
You can't really control that. But,
yeah.
I mean, from the staff hirings, bringing in Vic Fangio for the defense, bringing in Kellen Moore for the offense, that's 2 great additions I love. You bring in Saquon Barkley, who is a top 5 running back in the league, behind one of the best offensive lines. Re-sign Landon Dickerson. bring back Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, who's the last good secondary piece you've had, and the biggest win of all, the tush push didn't get banned. A huge win for the Philadelphia Eagles this offseason.
Oh man,
I like their offseason a lot.
yeah, I love it as well, which is why great minds think alike.
Nicely done.
I also have Philly as my biggest winners as well.
Nice.
I don't think you mentioned this, but Bryce Huff. we
Oh,
gotta talk
Bryce
about
Huff too.
him.
Yes. Yeah.
But they were breaking you in the comments with our reel we post on Instagram. Like, oh no, it was on TikTok. They mentioned that you said Bryce Hall. The TikToker said
I did
Bryce
say Bryce
Huff.
Hall. I saw it when I was editing it.
Yeah, but that's all good. But
We know it's Brees Hall.
Yeah, but speaking on Bryce Huff, this is probably my favorite free agency signing from this period. Getting him, who was very productive with the Jets last year, along with his contract, which is very team friendly, long term as well. On a pass rushing unit with Philly, who is losing gas. They were aging a little bit, and to bring in fresh blood, and Bryce Huff can get off the line really fast. Very great, like rushing on the outside.
Yeah.
I thought that was a great accusation.
Are Brandon Clark and Fletcher Cox both returning this year?
Brandon, bro, you told
Or Brandon Graham?
Brandon
I
Clark.
said Brandon Clark. Brandon Graham.
Basketball. Hey, shout out Brandon Clark though. Get better, my brother. Get better.
But Brandon Graham
Mm-hmm.
and Fletcher Cox, are they both returning?
Fletcher Cox retired.
Okay.
Brandon Graham is returning on a 1-year deal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so I mean they got Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter to make up for the Fletcher Cox loss.
Nolan Smith, he's gonna have a big role this year. Milton Williams, I kind of like him.
And then hopefully his son Reddick can return back to what he did that Super Bowl year, because he was arguably their most important player.
I heard they might trade him.
I did too. I heard they were shopping him, but he's still on the roster.
Could happen around the draft. Who knows?
True.
And with Saquon and Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, both two key signings who you also talked about with your opinion as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, great moves. I also like the coaching hirings as well, with Kellen Moore and Vic Fangio being put into the mix, helping Nick Sirianni, which last year having inexperienced guys like Sean Desai and Brian Johnson taking over from Jonathan Gannon and Shane Steichen.
Big drop off.
Yeah, that was one of the reasons why. Again, like you said, Matt, they had that big drop off last year as well too. So yeah, all around great offseason for Philly so far.
Yeah, I like it. All right, so who's your? Give us a loser then.
A loser. I'm going in the NFC East with my first loser,
Okay. I have a team in the NFC East as well.
and that is the Dallas Cowboys.
I do not have the Dallas Cowboys. But go ahead, talk about the Cowboys. We were talking about them a little bit before. But go ahead.
I got all the big names they lost. Tyler Biadasz, their starting center. Tyron Smith, their legend at left tackle.
Yeah.
He's gone as well. Tony Pollard, which he had a down year last season, but at the same time he was a starting running back whom they haven't replaced at all yet.
Mm-hmm.
And Dorrance Armstrong on the edge, being a rotational guy, productive on that side of the ball. And with the players they did get in free agency this year, was only Eric Kendricks, their only major free agency signing, which I'm not a big no, not at all. I'm not a big Eric Kendricks believer as well too. I just don't. He's not the guy to be productive with your linebacking core, being one of the main guys. So I thought that was a poor move. Contract be damned. And with this Prescott news recently, they're gonna run out his contract. Who knows if they can re-sign him to a long-term contract? And if they let him walk, his cap hit in 2025 is $40 million. So you add all these elements together, along with maintaining head coach Matt McCarthy, which we've said it before on previous episodes that we're not fans of him at all.
At all?
It's a massive downgrade for this Cowboys team. And I said it on the last episode that I could honestly see the Cowboys missing the playoffs entirely.
Yeah. I mean, it depends on if the Giants and Commanders improve, because typically those have been some easy wins for the Cowboys.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, yeah, they're a huge loser for me. I mean, if you go back to their most recent game, the game against the Packers in, I believe, the wild card round,
Yes.
it got like blown out. Like most people were turning off the game mid third quarter, maybe even halftime for some people, and to have that kind of disbelief, that shock where you lose, and what's going to happen with Mike McCarthy, what's going to happen with Dak. Dak and CD look like they don't have a connection during the playoffs, and to head into the offseason and have a significant downgrade in roster. Whether it's you hit on the O-line, losing 2 key pieces there. The linebacking core obviously got worse. Leighton Vander Esch retiring, and you're replacing him with Eric Kendricks. And then your wide receiver room, it's just like CD and bust because Michael Gallup's gone, and now it's really him, Brandon Cooks didn't really look like himself last year.
No,
and it's just like the Cowboys. Yeah, the Cowboys just have all these questions, and it seems like all the wrong answers.
I don't know what Jerry's doing, man.
He's waiting, and Bill Belichick will be coaching the staff next year.
Oh, Bill Parcells 2.0, man. I don't know. I don't know how that's gonna go out.
But
hey, short term, great. But hey, I don't know. Super Bowl contender, we know Dallas aren't. They're not there.
Fair.
They're not there. No.
My loser though, that I mentioned I had in the NFC East, and it was the Commanders. And the Commanders didn't have like a terrible offseason. Like maybe having them in the loser category is a bit harsh because the offseason wasn't horrible, but all offseason they were the team that was hyped. This team has the most cap space. This team has a new thirsty head coach in Dan Quinn. They have I'm blanking on the name from the Warriors. Bob Myers. They have Bob Myers in the front office now. He's going to make big moves. They just brought in somebody from the 49ers. He's going to make big moves. And what did you do this offseason? Bring in Austin Eckler?
Well, they didn't just bring in Austin Eckler.
I mean, they did a little more.
Yeah, which I'm not a big fan of the accusation.
Yeah, I'd rather just give the touches to Brian Robinson and Chris Rodriguez.
I would have just got running back in the draft.
Nah, they don't need to do that. They need to take offensive linemen in the draft.
Cheaper option. I did think they improved their offensive line.
They did. But I just felt like there was so much more. Like with the cap space that they had, with everything that was hyped up. I do like the Cliff Kingsbury hiring as their OC. And I guess it's an incomplete grade on their offseason as well because it does depend who they take with the second overall pick.
Drake, man. I think that's
people. Hey, did you see the report that came out yesterday?
No,
I don't think you should. That like there was a poll taken of the NFL execs, and the most common number 2 pick was JJ McCarthy.
Smoke screen. JJ McCarthy is not going number 2 overall, and whoever drafts him number 2 overall, if Adam Peters, the Commanders GM, drafts JJ McCarthy number 2 overall, he should be fired immediately.
Yeah. If Drake May goes to the Vikings, that's kind of crazy.
No, they're not.
If McCarthy goes at 2.
No, like so what do you mean? Like, so you're saying the Vikings, if they could possibly
they would trade up then.
Trade up to 3, number 3?
Well, number 3 is the Cardinals.
No, number 3 is the Patriots.
Oh, number 3 is the Patriots.
Patriots
would take May. The Patriots would take May.
Down to, I could honestly see it happening, but I really think the most like realistic decision they'll make is stay put at 3.
I don't think they would take JJ McCarthy though. The Patriots don't seem like they would.
I think they're getting Jaden Daniels, either Jaden Daniels or Marvin Harrison Jr. at 3.
And then Cardinals are at 4. Cardinals would ideally take Marvin Harrison Jr.
Yeah.
But they could go O-line.
Nah, you have to get neighbors. Bro, that wide receiver core is not good, bro.
Who's there right now? It's Michael Wilson.
Michael Wilson as their one. And then they just signed
Rondo Moore, I guess.
No, Rondo Moore's with the Falcons. And then
shout out to the Falcons though. They didn't make my winners list, but I just felt like they were a little too obvious.
Yeah, they balled out. Yeah. I want to say either Chris Moore or David Moore, who they just signed, and Greg Dortch as their 3. Chris Moore from the Titans, yes.
Okay. Yeah, they need a wide receiver back.
Like, badly.
And then Chargers at 5. Chargers are going wide receiver for sure, I think. Or either wide receiver or O-line. That O-line needs some fucking help.
Yeah, they need that badly.
But you want to go on to one of your winners then? Or a different one of your winners?
Yeah, if my computer can load properly.
I hope we don't have just the same winners list. I think we have we have another winner that's aligned though.
I think no, it should be different. For one of my biggest winners, I have the Tennessee Titans.
Okay, so yes, this is who I thought was in line. I have the Titans as well.
Oh fuck!
The L'Jarius Sneed move. I mean, just
dude.
that and Chidobe Awuzie, like that secondary is taken care of.
Which that secondary was a big need for this Titans team over the past few years, and with this period, they got Chidobe Awuzie, who is a very solid corner two, as well as Jerry Sneed, who was a top top 3 corner. You can debate on that last year.
I don't.
He was elite. Should have been All Pro.
Should have been
NFL. Should have been All Pro, but apparently not. I guess Deron Bland deserved it over Jerry Sneed, even though Deron Bland, whenever he got lined up against like a great wide receiver on the outside, he got his shit cooked. That never happened to Jerry Sneed. Yeah,
DK 80-yard touchdown.
We all saw that, and he still got first team All Pro over Sneed. I'm still pissed about that. Whether Sneed is with us or not, which is really unfortunate. 19 million a year for the next 4 years. Man. I trust Veach, but damn, man, that hurts my soul. Yeah. I love Sneed.
But, like, bolstering the defense with bolstering the secondary specifically, and then offense, you give your young quarterback, Will Levis, plenty of options and plenty of weapons to work with. He now has Hopkins and Ridley as his wide receivers, and then he already had a good running back in Derrick Henry, but you give him a different dynamic in a receiving back with Tony Pollard, which I do like.
And keep in mind, with this new scheme, Brian Callahan, he's their first-year head coach. With what he did in Cincinnati, they're a very pass-heavy oriented offense. Mm-hmm. While Tony Pollard, we know from last year with Dallas, he's not an every down back. No, but at the same time, with this new scheme in Tennessee, his best trait is his pass catching. And he wasn't really utilized as a pass catcher last year with the Cowboys, and I feel like that's going to be massively different.
Yeah, and I mean, I remember we were talking about it in the group chat, and I kind of forgot about this move at the time, but the Lloyd Cushenberry move.
Very solid. Yeah. Bolsters up their interior O-line, which their entire O-line, other than Peter Skoronski and Nicholas Pet. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. I'm sorry. My French is very poor. French is very poor.
I can't help you out.
But he's respectable as a tackle. But other than that, probably the worst O-line in the entire league. It was up there. Like
Commanders gotta be worse.
No, but I'm saying like Tennessee was really up there when it comes to their O-line. Like you watch the Titans play week to week, and you just see Will Levis. Although he was holding on the ball for too long, he was getting his ass kicked. He was getting his ass beat in the pocket.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, bolstering the O-line, giving him weapons, building out your secondary. I obviously, you know how big of a Mike Vrabel fan I am, so I think it's hard to lose as good of a coach as him, but I do think they did a pretty good job replacing him and bringing in Callahan from the Bengals. So, yeah, I had them as a winner as well.
Yeah. With the money they had, they were aggressive, which I do like. Mm-hmm. Give Will Levis as many weapons and help that he can possibly have offensively to improve his game, which I truly believe that Will Levis can be a week-to-week, like, consistent starting quarterback in this league. And with these moves that we just mentioned, I think they could be a wildcard team this year.
They got a tough division. The AFC South low-key went from like the worst division in the league to a pretty competitive division.
Massively improved. I think when you compare the rest of the teams in that division, the AFC South, they've massively improved. I think you can give them that award compared to these other teams, which I'll get into one of those teams like down the line.
I think I know. I know who you're about to say.
But I feel that they're the most improved.
Yeah. we had a podcast. I think that was when we were recording on the other side of the room. And I was telling you, like, the Jacks kind of were asleep at the wheel. Like, they were looking around and they saw they had Trevor Lawrence and they saw the other starting quarterbacks in the division and were like, okay, so we'll be fine for the next 10 years. And now it's like, hey, there's C.J. Stroud in the division. There's Anthony Richardson, who showed great flashes in, like, the 4 or 5 games he played last year. And now there's this kid, Will Levis, who likes bananas and mayonnaise in his coffee.
Mayo Man.
Mayo Man, but, like, he's pretty fucking good. So, like, it's a tough division. It's a tough division. I could see them making wild card. They do have a really good team. But we'll see. I got to see what the first-year head coach looks like. But, I mean,
for sure.
I mean, that division had 2 great first-year head coaches last year, in Shane Steichen and D'Amico Ryans.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I'll move on to one of my losers. My next 2 losers are both in the AFC East. But I'll give probably the more consensus of the 2. I have the Miami Dolphins. The Miami Dolphins, look, in football there's a saying, and the saying is the game is won and lost in the trenches. And the Miami Dolphins lost in the trenches in the offseason. Between losing Robert Hunt, who was crucial to that outside running game that was so impactful.
Very solid interior lineman.
Yeah, for the Dolphins. And then on the flip side, losing Christian Wilkins, who was by far your best interior defender. 2 massive losses.
Don't forget about Connor Williams, too, as well.
Oh, yeah, Connor Williams. Was he playing center for them last year?
Yes, he was playing center. They replaced him with Aaron Brewer from the Titans, which I'm not that high on, really.
Okay.
I think he's like average center in the NFL right now.
Right.
Which compared to Connor Williams, minus his knee injury, that's why he still hasn't been signed, according to sources. But on his best day, he is still one of the premier centers in this league.
He is. And you factor all those losses, plus I know he wasn't the typical, like, great defensive coordinator that he usually is, but losing Vic Fangio is still a big loss.
I do like the hire of Anthony Weaver from the Ravens.
I do as well.
Staff.
I do as well. But I think that you lose
younger blood in there.
Yeah. But I don't know. I just think that you factor all the losses in. You factor how many injuries are coming back this year. They're going to need time to adjust, whether it's Phillips, Chubb. I think Van Ginkel even got hurt. Ramsey was hurt.
Van Ginkel's gone even.
Van Ginkel
he was crucial last year,
them.
especially with all the injuries with their pass rush.
But it's just too much. And now I'm hearing, like, that they're going to bring in OBJ, and I hate to tell you, Dolphins fans, he's not going to be the answer.
Even as the number 3?
Even as the number 3.
If you put him in the slot.
He was the number 3 on the Ravens last year, and he didn't do anything.
Obviously, the number 1 was
Zay.
We talking about wide receivers or, like, in general from the grand scheme of things offensively?
Wide receivers.
Okay,
wide
that's
receivers.
fine. So, yeah, the 1 was obviously Zay.
2 was probably Rashad Bateman.
I think the 2
Target-wise.
I think the 2 was OBJ.
OBJ was not good last
year. I'm not disagreeing with you on that.
I mean, it's not like Rashad Bateman was good last year either.
No, they were both.
But either way,
good.
if people are arguing that you're behind Rashad Bateman, like, you obviously can't have had a good year.
No, not at all.
And, like, that's with Lamar Jackson playing MVP caliber ball, and I don't think that 2 was playing anywhere near that. Like, yes, it's a more passing scheme, but still.
Absolutely.
I don't know. I don't think OBJ is going to be the piece that's like, oh, wow, now we're a true contender. Yeah. I don't know.
I mean, I don't think they're big losers. You look at the moves they made. Jordan Brooks, the replacement over Jordan Baker, All-American. No.
Jordan Baker.
I don't think it's Jordan Baker, but DeAndre Baker. I'm blanking on his name.
The safety's name?
No, the linebacker's name.
The linebacker.
He went to the Seahawks.
Oh.
Yeah, he was a big part of that Dolphins linebacking core. Which, for Jordan Brooks, I thought that was a very solid replacement.
Fair. I don't know, though. For me, it's like the Dolphins are a team I think might slip out of the playoffs. Because they were the wild card last year. And I think that there's a real argument that they're now the 3rd best team in their division.
They're not their best team.
I like.
I would give, bro. You're on the okay. Jerome Baker, who the name that I was mentioning, the guy that left.
Yes.
Excuse me, I don't know. All American was on my mind. That show's trash now. But I digress.
Facts.
Yo, that was a COVID essential, man.
Dude,
COVID essential.
It made it like 2 or 3 years before, 2 or 3 seasons before I just gave up on it.
Absolutely. I
but
think
season 1 was undefeated.
It was crucial.
It was a special time.
It was crucial. But again, I digress from that.
But, yeah, I don't know. I did some research. I can't remember because we were talking about the Jets wide receiver too, and how that's been a problem. And I think it might have happened after a podcast where they got Mike Williams.
Yeah,
to be that wide receiver
yes,
too. I mean, that's a good addition if he, knock on wood, he stays healthy, which hasn't happened in his career.
You do get the deep threat.
Yeah. Him with Wilson underneath.
I just think they need a burner.
Other than that, there's not.
They have a burner. Because they have a burner.
Well, what's his name? The guy whose name starts with like an I. An I.
On the roster?
On the roster. I don't know. Is there any way that
Xavier Gibson? You don't know his name does start with an I, but
no, I think I might be mixing him up with the dude on the Bengals.
Yosivas? No.
I can't remember.
Yeah, you tweaking.
I can't remember.
Yeah, you tweaking for sure.
But where was I? I was talking about the Jets, I guess.
Jets hype and Dolphin slander.
Jets hype, Dolphin slander. Yeah. Yeah. I guess I'll end it by saying I would have the Jets and the Bills above the Dolphins.
I'm still taking Miami over New York. I'm sorry.
I mean, New York hasn't really given you a reason to believe in them.
And I was off the Jet sauce. I was really off the Jet sauce.
That defense is still elite, though.
It is still elite.
It is still elite. So if Aaron Rodgers can be 80% of himself, I think they're in a good spot.
He's got to be like a top 15 quarterback at least. But, again, Nathaniel Hackett, offensively, I'm not that high on, really, especially with Hackett still being the OC.
That's fair. Oh, this is what I was going to say. Is there any world where Rodgers can make Allen Lazard look good again?
Allen Lazard should be in the XFL.
Nah, that's too harsh.
He is one of the worst wide receivers in the league, period. The fact that they gave him a bag is disgraceful. The dude is actually trash. I'm sorry. And no offense to Allen Lazard.
There's worse receivers.
Nah, he's up there.
He's bad.
He's up there.
He looks good with Rodgers, though. That's the problem.
I wouldn't say
is that a product
good.
of Rodgers?
Yes, it is a product of Rodgers.
Yeah, it is. Who's one of your losers, though? Or did you already give one of your second loser?
I
don't think you have.
I did not give my second loser. I'm going to go back to the AFC South, and that is the Indianapolis Colts. While they did re-sign some of their key guys, like Kenny Moore, made him the highest paid slot corner, nickel corner in the entire league, Grover Stewart, one of the most underrated defensive players in the entire league. Media gave him his credit, still with that team. And also Michael Pittman Jr. as well. But at the same time, when it comes to massive free agency signings, like new guys being brought in, they didn't really do anything. They just decided, hey, we believe that AR-15, Anthony Richardson, is going to come back healthy, and we're going to be on the same boat again, battling it out in the AFC South and the AFC in general into next season, which I'm not that high as a fan on, especially when you look at the Titans. Now they've massively improved this year, along with the Texans. C.J. Stroud still being C.J. Stroud, elite quarterback, along with them also getting Daniil Hunter as well. The Jaguars, while I wasn't a massive fan of what they did in free agency, you still got Trevor Lawrence and a lot of playmakers on both sides of the ball. And with the Colts, they're finishing second. They're going to have a way harder schedule. So I really believe that the Indianapolis Colts are the biggest candidate to have a fall-off year.
But fall-off year, it's not like they made the playoffs last year.
They're going to, at the same time, they finished above 500.
Division's harder, for sure. Division's harder. Second year, C.J. Stroud, we'll see how good he's going to be because he's already
didn't really
good as
get
is.
better. They signed Raekwon Davis, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah, but maybe having Jonathan Taylor the whole year helps you out a little bit. But yeah, it is a very similar roster. You're just swapping Gardner Minshew for AR-15, which, but that's fair. I thought when you said the loser in the AFC South, I thought you were going with the Jags.
I thought about putting the Jags there too.
Because what was their offseason move? Gabe Davis?
Gabe Davis, I still don't like that signing
Yeah,
at all.
for real.
Their wide receiver core is not good.
Yeah.
Not good. Darnell Savage, replacement
how old
level
is he
starter,
now?
really. He's got to be pushing. I won't say pushing, but near 30.
Mm-hmm.
They signed Ronald Darby too. I didn't like that move as well. But Eric Armstead helps a lot. And Miss Morris, who I do like, start with him starting at center.
Fair. All right, so last winners then?
I believe so, yes.
All right. My last winner. I wanted to put the Rams here, but I took bias out of it. And there's a clear winner. I think clearer than the Falcons. And that's the Chicago Bears. The Chicago Bears, in my opinion, had a phenomenal offseason. I really like the contract that they gave to their young star corner and Jalen Johnson. I like that they made the right decision with quarterback. I do think Fields might have some success in Pittsburgh one day, but I think anytime you have a chance to get a dude who put up 93 touchdowns in 2 seasons in college, you have to get him. So I think bringing in Caleb Williams is a huge plus. Getting rid of Luke Getsy is a huge plus. And then putting weapons around your quarterback. The trade for Keenan Allen was such a good trade.
Phenomenal. Great short-term move. Him and DJ Moore is going to be a movie.
It's going to be
and potentially with Caleb Williams under center.
Yeah.
Oh, nasty.
And then, I mean, I'm not a huge fan of the DeAndre Swift signing, but just giving your quarterback, one, a receiving back, and two, just the defense is a different look because he brings a different dynamic than Khalil Herbert and Roshan Johnson. So just having like a 3-headed monster so that your running back room stays fresh, I like that. So the Bears were a huge winner to me this offseason.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, great minds think alike.
Dang, we went 3 for 3 on winners?
I believe so. But I'm going to be a little bit different and going to go off the dome with your team, the LA Rams, because I do really I love what they did this offseason. Minus the Aaron Donald retirement news, which, again, that's completely outside of their control. So I'm not going to penalize them for that. But you look at their other moves. Re-sign Kevin Dotson, who he had a phenomenal year last year.
Right.
One of the breakout stars from the past NFL season, along with getting Jonah Jackson from Detroit, who I'm very high on as well, bolstering that O-line alongside Rob Havenstein and Steve Avila as well. Kobe Parkinson, that was a solid tight end move. If they want to go with these multiple,
he's going to be a blocking tight end.
If they do want to go with these multiple tight end sets, which with the new scheme fit, that could be a possibility as well.
I'm just saying, David Salen's going to be the one catching the ball.
I do like David Salen as well.
I do as well.
I really do. And defensively, their secondary, which that was their biggest weakness by far last year with that unit. They were getting their shit cooked in. So to improve that unit, getting Darius Williams from Jacksonville, Tre'Davious White, who, again, he's not the same Tre'Davious White from years past, but he's capable enough to guard on the outside as well. And safety, getting Cameron Crowe, who I'm very high on with the Commanders too, can be very dynamic in the passing game as that strong safety role.
You know what I think is an underrated move too? The Jimmy G signing. I think that just because, I mean, when Matt Stafford's missed games, I think in the last 2 years, even though it's like minor games, or minor injuries, just like a week or two, I just think that this is kind of like a really good situation for Jimmy. We saw what he did in San Fran, and I mean, this is a pretty good situation. As you mentioned, the O-line is bolstered, and we have a good O-line. We have 2 star wide receivers in Puka and Kupp, a great running game with Kyron Williams, and then the offensive mind of Sean McVay. So, if Stafford does miss some time, which has kind of become a norm these last 2 years, we're not going to just be automatic losses. We can be competitive in those games, which I think is a big thing.
Absolutely.
But, yeah.
Shoot.
Who's your last loser?
One more loser for me. Hopefully, it's gonna be a little bit different compared to yours.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go with the Arizona Cardinals.
Okay, so
underrated
we do have
loser.
different ones.
Yeah. Again, Arizona. Their main objective was to get solid role players throughout their roster, guys that can compete for the starting position day one, be reliable day one. But at the same time, getting bridge guys on multiple deals. Jonah Williams, that signing, I am not a fan of him at all. From his time in Cincinnati, I thought he was a very mediocre tackle. I lining him up as your blindside tackle on the left side. I do not like that move at all. I did like the Justin Jones signing from Chicago. I think he can be very good on their interior line. Sean Murphy Bunting as well on the outside as a corner too.
Mm-hmm.
Especially with Marquise Brown being gone, that wide receiver core, which we did talk about previously, earlier in this episode, that is very bad. So they really need to get wide receiver as well. Hopefully, Harrison Jr. or even Neighbors can fall down to their spot at 4 so they can get him to get a reliable, consistent wide receiver 1, because that if you're going into a wide receiver room day 1 with this season with Michael Wilson, who I'm still high on, but he's not a wide receiver 1,
Mm-hmm.
Greg Dortch and Chris Moore, that's a no-no, especially with a guy like Kyler Murray coming back for a full year.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think you hit it on the head. The Cardinals have been the worst team in the NFC South for
And the NFC West.
NFC West, my bad. For basically our whole life, outside of the Carson Palmer, Larry Fitzgerald days.
Well, historically, yeah, they've been going band for band with the Rams for that last spot.
I mean, we've been good for a decade now. 2015.
I'll give not 2015, 2017, brother.
Yeah,
calm down.
That's fair. I mean, that's almost a decade.
That's not a decade.
That's almost a decade.
That's off. You can't do math, bro.
That's almost a decade.
No, it's not a decade.
It's close.
I'm not giving you that. But move on. Continue.
But yeah, I don't know. It's just kind of like the organization has never been able to put the right pieces around the star players, and kind of looks like it's staying that way.
I guess they want to go into another rebuilding year.
I do like Jonathan Gannon, though.
I really do, which I'm confused because in a division where you have the Niners, the Seahawks, they're still in the mix, along with the Rams, still being a solid wildcard contender in the NFC. I just thought the Cardinals, with their available cap space, they could have done a lot more.
See, that's how I feel about the Commanders. But I mean, Commanders at least did something.
Well, the Commanders, they don't have the star quarterback. Arizona, they do with Kyler, which I don't know for some of the people in the NFL community and NFL media, but Kyler Murray is a borderline franchise quarterback, which you can shit on him for him being a midget, him playing Call of Duty all day.
People saying he's a bad teammate,
which he's not.
I mean, I can't comment. I'm not.
I don't. Bro, he's been in Arizona for 5 years, and there haven't been reports of him being a shitty teammate from the rest of the roster. So I'm not gonna believe Kyler Murray's a bad teammate.
Patrick
Peterson, bad person. I think Kyler Murray's a good guy, and on his day, at his best, he is a borderline top 12, maybe even top 10 quarterback.
Mm-hmm. Fair. All right.
You're not, bro. You don't carry a Cliff Kingsbury schematic offense for multiple years and be really good, and people say you're a bad quarterback. You can't be a bad quarterback. Kyler Murray is really good at football.
Yeah,
you gotta put some respect on Kyler. I'm tired of disrespect.
He's probably the second best dual threat QB in the league.
Allen, Jackson.
Oh yeah, I guess if we're counting Allen, I was thinking.
Why wouldn't you count Allen?
No, you.
Oh wait.
We're not doing this. Because he's the gunslinger.
Oh,
but I was thinking Jackson and Hurts above him for sure.
Above Allen?
No, above Kyler.
Above Kyler. I'm putting Kyler over Hurts.
No, I'm not doing that.
I would put Kyler over Hurts.
I can't do that because Jalen Hurts has actually looked good in the playoffs. Kyler's only playoff game. I would be happy to tell you about it.
I'm not going to defend Kyler in that MLK game in the playoffs versus your Rams.
Yeah.
That pass in the end zone was horrible.
That was like
that was horrible.
If you were anybody but a Rams fan, I would be surprised if you were watching past the third quarter.
Yeah, I turned that shit off.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
but I'll get into my last loser.
Okay.
And I want to not foreshadow it, but I want to give like a caution. It is like, to me, I grade contending teams harder than other teams just because like in the NFL, when you do have such a good QB, like a top 5 QB like this team does, your window's not going to last long. Mm-hmm. And so I feel like every year almost has to be championship or bust.
Yeah.
And that's why I have the Bills as a loser. Because outside of signing Deion Dawkins to an extension, which I like, he's one of the premier left tackles in the league, what was their big offseason move? Bringing in Curtis Samuel?
I'm not even that high on Curtis Samuel to begin with.
Like, exactly. Like I just think, like, when your championship window is this tight and you have AFC that's just getting more and more talented.
Yeah.
You have a Bengals team that's going to be healthy next year, a Jets team that's going to be healthy next year. That just makes the mix that much more difficult.
Cleveland's going to be more healthy.
Which, I mean, they were already in the wild card last year.
But at the same time, like, they're going to have all their main guys back come September.
Yeah. You're going to have all these teams, like, lined up for a playoff spot. And this offseason, you've lost Tre'Davious White. You've lost Jordan Poyer. And the Von Miller contract just continues to look worse and worse and worse.
Yeah.
And
but that Von Miller contract is like all time territory. It's gonna be all time, like worst free agent signings.
Because they're gonna just continue to have to drop people because of it.
Yeah,
which I don't know. That's just why I had them as losers. Like if you go like pound for pound, if you're looking at all the teams and you're looking at the offseason moves that they made, like no, the Bills don't have the worst offseason, but I think when you factor in like this is their time to win. Stephon Diggs isn't getting any younger, and he doesn't seem to be any more happy in the situation that he's in. Trayvon Diggs doesn't seem to be easing up on the Twitter talking about free Stephon.
No, not at all.
Like the window's shrinking, and you're gonna have Josh Allen for however long.
Yeah, you're always gonna have a chance with Josh Allen.
Exactly, but the teams just have not been adequate around him.
No,
and it doesn't seem like there's a difference in the trend.
Mm-mm.
So I have them as a loser.
Oh my goodness!
What?
I'm looking at Von Miller's current contract.
What is it?
Well, it is a 6-year, $120 million contract. 51
so
million.
20 a year. 6 year.
Yeah, average salary. 51 in total guaranteed money. But
remaining or just
no,
total?
like total in his contract. Okay. And in 2027, that will be his last year of his deal. He will have a $32 million cap hit. And he'll be 37 years old.
It's a bad contract.
Yeah,
he's not gonna be on the team by the time he's 37.
No, that's gonna be up there with the all-time like worst free agency signings of all time. It has to be.
Which like shout out to Vaughn, Hall of Famer, first ballot easily.
Canes winning for him. It's been winning for him for like the past 8 years now.
Since 2015, really.
Yeah, since the Super Bowl, he won MVP.
2-time Super Bowl champ.
Yeah.
Like obviously, what the Bills were thinking of bringing him in, but it's like a flashy move. It's just the star name move where we're gonna overpay the star name because he has this track record of being phenomenal in the playoffs, which I understand, but there's more of a due diligence to GMing, I think, and they didn't show that.
But that ACL cooked, like the torn ACL cooked him.
Yeah,
it cooked him, bro. Yeah. He can't get off the edge anymore.
Yeah, guaranteed to miss a couple games.
He can't get off the. He can't get on the outside anymore. Which Von Miller's best trait in his prime was his bend, and his ability to get on the outside easily.
Yeah.
It's just not there anymore. The burst is gone, and that's why the Bills, for like half the season, it felt like he was on the inactive list game by game.
Yeah,
because he wasn't productive anymore.
And, I mean, this isn't like a huge loss because he was good for them at the end of the year.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm still not super high on Sean McDermott.
No, me neither.
Yeah.
And we've been on his case.
We've been on that
We've been on his case. They didn't believe in us.
We've been on that since what? Like, since we started the pod.
Absolutely.
Probably, 2022 maybe?
I think even 2021.
Yeah, we've been skeptical of McDermott for a minute.
He's been on fraud watch in our eyes.
He has been for a watch for a while.
Mm-hmm.
But who's the DC now? Because Leslie Frazier stepped away.
Yeah, he's been gone.
Or is Sean McDermott calling the defense?
Bobby Babbage, new DC.
Oh,
Sean McDermott don't call the defensive plays.
Okay, fair enough.
Bobby Babbage.
I do like the new OC, something Brady.
Joe Brady.
Joe Brady, yeah.
Joe Brady.
I mean, he was a much better upgrade than Ken Dorsey. Much better upgrade than Ken Dorsey.
Relied on the run game, gave Josh Allen a breather consistently, which that was great moving forward.
Yeah, but the run game didn't last long.
No, it didn't.
It didn't last long.
It did not. It was.
It peaked. It peaked and it ended with the Cowboys game.
Yeah, when they went back to Josh Allen hero ball.
Yeah. Which yeah, I
mean
mean
that
it
can
looks
only get you so far, man.
And that's the problem. It's
Allen.
like it just looks like they're gonna be. I mean, it's one thing to rely on Mahomes and to rely on Josh Allen, but when it's on the running and passing game, it's a different story.
Yeah.
But it'll be okay. Josh Allen will be the leading rusher for the Bills again.
Sadly,
lead them in rushing touchdowns.
At some point, his legs are gonna give out. I don't want to say that, but realistically, with the amount of like usage in the run game Allen has had over these years since he's been a starting quarterback, it's not good.
Yeah, it's not.
We've seen it before with dual quarterbacks like him with his build, exactly in Carolina with Cam Newton.
Yeah,
it wasn't the same.
Wasn't the same.
The injuries pile up, man.
The hits pile up.
Exactly.
But yeah, good episode. I can't believe we had fucking 3 of the same winners. We went 3 for 3 on winners.
But I thought you were gonna get the Falcons.
Nah, Falcons is like too obvious. I feel
they had a great.
They did. They had obviously Kirk Cousins, Darnell Mooney, bringing in a new coach to replace Arthur Smith. They had a very good offseason.
I was thinking about putting the Panthers in as one of my winners.
Panthers was close for me because they got a lot of help for Bryce Young.
Especially, I thought that was the main reason.
Yeah.
Deontay Johnson, getting him for a bag of peanuts, man. A consistent separator.
Where'd they get him from?
A wide receiver.
It was Dante Jackson.
I don't like Dante Jackson. I don't think he's a starting corner in this league anymore.
Nah.
Would have been in like 2017, but not anymore.
Yeah. Whenever they had the All or Nothing come out, or what is it still called All or Nothing?
I think it's All or Nothing.
All or Nothing on the Panthers. Whenever that came out, that was like his best years.
Damn.
Surprised that Luke Kuechly was still on the defense? Nope.
Damn.
Shout out.
And as well, continuing with Carolina, Damian Lewis from the Seahawks and Robert Hunt from the Dolphins, 2 very solid interior linemen, getting those guys long term. Again, to help out Bryce Young with that O-line because he's getting his ass beat. He's getting his ass beat every game, man.
Yeah.
Again, I will say the clip versus the Saints, it looked like some cartoon shit, like Looney Tunes type shit.
No, that did not look good.
No.
You never want to see your quarterback get railed and then have to help himself up.
Like, at all.
Yeah.
That was horrendous.
I was close to – so the Titans were like my third winner. And then the 2 teams that I had like that were really close to taking over the Titans were the Packers.
I had the Packers in consideration as well.
Packers, and then I just blanked on them. I just saw their move.
I really like Green Bay speaking on them. Josh Jacobs with, again, Aaron Jones. I do think he's better than Josh Jacobs, in my opinion, when it comes to all-around games.
Yeah, I'd agree.
But Josh Jacobs has less on the tires. He's younger. He's more reliable. And getting Xavier McKinney as well, premier safety on a unit that needed secondary help badly. I enjoyed that signing. I'm getting it. Yeah. And you can't forget about them moving away from Joe Barry as well.
It's a big win.
Yeah.
They got a really good wide receiver core.
Out of those wide receivers, who do you think is going to break out?
Oh, Jaden Reed. Jaden Reed. He's the wide receiver 1 to me for sure.
Mm. Not Christian Watson?
I would probably have Christian Watson as the wide receiver 2. I think it's Jaden Reed for sure. I think, like, to me, he took over that wide receiver 1 spot from Christian Watson.
I got Dontavion Wicks.
Dontavion Wicks? I picked him up for a little bit in fantasy. He's not bad. That's the thing. They're like so deep because they got Wicks, they got Romeo Doubs too. They got so many wide receivers.
Yeah, and that's the weird part about the Packers. They don't got a true wide receiver 1 as of right now.
Yeah, they don't.
But at the same time, they have 4 reliable wide receivers. Even guys like Bo Melton and Malik Heath was putting work in.
Yeah,
that can contribute.
It's good for them though that they have so many like guys because none of them can stay healthy.
No, along with 2 tight ends as well, Luke Musgrave and
Tucker Kraft.
Tucker Kraft. They both showed promise.
My other winner would have been the Raiders though. I really like the Christian Wilkins pickup. Minshew will be a serviceable bridge quarterback, and then bringing back Antonio Pierce is a huge W.
Fair. Kind of a loser I have, while we're just like rattling off people, was Cleveland. The Jerry Jeudy trade accusation. I'm sorry, we got.
That was funny.
Ah man.
And signing him to a fat contract
before he played like a single snap.
Yeah.
I did not understand that one bit, man.
That's something I've never got, no matter the sport.
No
matter the sport.
You're supposed to evaluate the wide receiver who you just got based off the season, just to see if he can, if you can give him a new contract.
Yeah.
Just giving him the money which it's been. Jerry Jeudy's been in the league for 4 years now, and he's done relatively nothing. He hasn't been a standout wide receiver 1 in his entire career.
Not even close.
And I understand the poor quarterbacks, but if you're truly that guy as a wide receiver consistently, you're supposed to produce.
I mean, Cortland Sutton had a good year last year. Cortland Sutton probably had a career year last year.
Yeah, exactly.
Has Justin Simmons signed anywhere yet?
No, he's a free agent still.
Any idea? He might be a Cowboy.
Yeah, but speaking on Cleveland, they decided to run it back, which fair, understandable, which because they had a lot of players on IR and out for the entire year.
Yeah.
But at the same time, Joe Burrow's coming back. Since he's gonna be a better team with Burrow fully healthy, and they have an easy schedule too. Pittsburgh's still gonna be in it. Baltimore, although they've been
another winner of mine.
Pittsburgh. I don't know about that one, but Baltimore, they lost a lot with their coaching staff as well as losing some their key players. Cleveland, I still got them being good heading into this season, but just running it back, where the NFL is so year to year, you don't know how each team's gonna produce. I don't know, man. I'm not sure. And I like Andrew Berry in them too.
What do you think Nick Chubb's gonna be like this year?
Oh my God, man! Of course, he's not gonna be 100%. I mean, his leg, which he had the leg injury in college too. It was, oh my God! I saw it on YouTube, man, multiple times. It's nasty. Along with this leg injury, I think it was the same knee as well. Especially with him being much older too. I'm not sure, man. I don't think the burst is gonna be there, but at the same time, Nick Chubb's a fucking freak of nature as well too.
Yeah,
he's a freak of nature.
He is.
I'm really rooting for the guy, but I just don't think he'll be.
I mean, a lot of people had him as their best running back.
I did too. Oh, we should. Oh man, the first team All Pro should have been there this season. It should have been there. It should have been there.
No, he's not getting first team All Pro.
Man, he should have. He's pro.
He's getting over McCaffrey.
I thought he was gonna be in contention for it.
He would have been an All Pro probably.
Yeah.
Because there wasn't was there an elite running back 2 last year? I don't think there was.
Of course, you had McCaffrey.
I mean, McCaffrey was like the premier guy. Though.
Henry was ass.
Henry wasn't good.
Saquon was injury prone.
Yeah, Saquon wasn't great.
Was injury prone. Nick Chubb, he got hurt. He got hurt.
Who made it? Was Mostert the second team All Pro?
No, ain't no way it was Mostert.
I think it might have been
I got lit.
Mixon was like, eh.
No, he was mids. Yeah, Mixon was mids.
Javonte was alright.
Why are you saying Javonte Williams?
I mean, not
It's
even
not close.
Javonte. Just the Broncos' rotation was alright.
Man,
They were probably the thing that made they
it
helped out
was-
Russell
it
Wilson.
was, it was average. Although I do like Jaleel McLaughlin. He
Jaleel
nice.
McLaughlin. Samaj P. Ryan wasn't bad either.
Fair too. Oh yeah, your boy Kyron Williams. He got second team.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense. I didn't think he'd get it. He missed a couple games.
Who are you gonna have him over him? Like Raheem Mostert?
I would give it to Kyron, yeah.
Okay.
I'd give it to Kyron.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, the Lions have a split backfield, so you can't give it to one of them.
Mhm.
Bijan didn't get the touches. I mean,
Sadly.
Brees Hall had a decent argument, but
Sadly, yeah, it's gonna be different this year. Oh, Zach Robinson. Oh, Atlanta's gonna be lit. It's gonna be bad lit.
I'm hoping.
Oh, hallelujah! Arthur Smith's gone.
I'm hoping.
Horrible fit. Horrible fit.
They
Oh
better
my
give
goodness.
Bijan the cow load.
We're gonna.
Without
It's gonna
carries.
be a movie in Atlanta. It's
I
gonna
still
be
got a
movie.
feeling Tyler Algier is going to be pretty involved with the offense, though.
Yeah, it's gonna be a movie.
But
Regardless.
they got on the right track because Cordell Patterson's off the team now. Well, it's like I'm not trying to, no disrespect to Cordell Patterson.
Hall of Famer.
I
Cordell
don't know about
Patterson.
that one.
But one of the top 3 kick returners of all time.
That's
Legendary
not,
kick returner.
that doesn't mean you're a Hall of Famer.
Bro, Devin Hester.
That
Devin,
doesn't mean-
bro, you don't respect Devin Hester?
Devin Hester can be the only guy that gets in there.
How?
What other kick returner are you putting in there?
Cordell Patterson.
I'm not putting. You're putting Cordell Patterson in your Hall of Fame.
Bro, yeah, special teams matter.
I'll give Hall of Fame to Devin Hester, to Justin Tucker, and to Matt Slater. Other than that,
From his current era?
yeah.
Damn.
Other than that, I mean, I like Cordell Patterson, but he's not making it for me.
4 first-team All-Pros as a return man?
It's not
Well-
it's not the Hall of Good. It's the Hall of Fame for a reason.
Bro.
You say the NFL is picky about the Hall of Fame. If they're letting Cordell Patterson in, then I'm sorry.
He was on the All-2010s Hall of Fame
And being
team.
being the best in your position doesn't mean shit to me. Are we putting Are we putting who? Dustin Colquitt or Britton Colquitt into the Hall of Fame because he was the best punter for a year?
No, because they have the accolades and the numbers. Cordell Patterson has the numbers and accolades.
Is Pat
Oh, he's-
McAfee's not in the Hall of Fame? Is
No, he shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame.
he? So then why should Cordell Patterson?
Bro,
be?
Pat McAfee got no accolades, though.
He got a couple of
Oh, he
pros, I wanna say,
don't.
or Pro Bowls.
Bro, you're just blinded by the aura of Pat McAfee.
Pat McAfee was class in his day, though.
He was a dog as a punter.
He was made first team All Pro.
One first team All
One
Pro.
first team.
One
Two-time
first team.
Pro Bowler.
2-time Pro Bowler. Hey, from back in the day, Shane Leckler should be
Arguably one of the biggest or one of the best fake kickoffs.
Yeah, like Shane Leckler and a punter from back in the day. He should be the Hall of Fame too. Hey, I could go. Bro,
We're not doing this.
Special teams matter. I'm
Special
saying.
teams do matter. But I'm
Special
not
teams
doing
matter.
this.
Special teams should be Hall of Famers as well. Salute the
Nah.
special teamers. I love y'all, man. I'm a ride for y'all. No Diddy. Pause on that.
I'm a ride for y'all. Damn.
I said no Diddy.
All right.
Or do you not know who Diddy is?
No. Of course. But I'm not putting him in the Hall of Fame. If
Okay.
you want to have him in the Hall of Fame, whatever.
Okay.
Are you putting Tyron Smith in the Hall of Fame? 'Cause I
Tyron
see-
Smith?
Yeah.
The left tackle.
Yeah,
Tyron Smith. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
Sure.
Did Eric Armstead sign anywhere?
Yeah, he signed for the Jaguars. That was the
Oh,
reason
he
why.
did.
That was the main reason why I didn't put him
Okay.
in my Lucas
I'm
Jackson.
looking at the best free agents available that we had from the episode. Marquise Brown, obviously, a Kansas City Chief.
Damn,
Chase
wow.
Young, a Saint. Calvin
Bro, did you see
Ridley.
that picture of him like signing the contract with the neck brace on?
No, I didn't.
Bro, yeah, people.
Where did Jadavian Clowney go? I saw he just signed a contract
Oh,
today.
he just signed with the Panthers.
Yeah. Okay. Panthers. That's not
Brian
that
Bird's
big.
replacement, I don't know, probably not, but a solid pass rusher.
Solid pass for sure. The Giants were kind of hard to grade as far as our season goes. They were like probably C minus, either C plus or C minus. Cause yeah, you got Brian Burns, but your quarterback competition for next year is Daniel Jones versus Drew Lock.
Yeah, they dead
Any
ass
last
might make
Saquon?
him. They dead ass might make Lock the starter.
Yeah, I don't think they will though. There's too much investment in the Daniel Jones. Way too much money. He's making $5 million less than Patty, which is crazy.
No way.
He's
Your
making,
numbers are off.
no, he's
your
making
number-
$5 million less than Patrick Mahomes.
Your numbers are hella off. No fucking way.
I'm like 90% confident.
No way.
I'm not like annually. Look up what because he's making 40 a year.
Mm-hmm.
Daniel Jones, annual Mahomes contract. That's it. Annual Mahomes contract, 10-year, $450 million. So 45 a year.
Okay.
So $5 million yes per year. There you go.
Yeah, I don't know about that one.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I don't know about that one. Don't know.
$5 million less than Mahomes.
I don't know about that one. Don't know about that. But yeah, I think we should wrap this up from here.
Yeah, I'll get us on and out of here.
Great session.
Leave a like, subscribe to all Lunchroom Debates social media pages, whether it's YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. Are we on anything else? I guess Spotify.
Yeah, recently.
But yeah. Keep showing the love.
Mm-hmm.
Keep showing the love. The engagement's been there the last couple posts. I've been seeing comments going up.
For real, man, bro. I got my shit baked on IG with the college hoops take.
Dude, I was bad because I woke up this morning, and if the group, like, if the boys from high school are texting me about it, I know something's up.
Deadass?
They're like, why are y'all saying that women's college ball's top 3?
Man, cause it's elite entertainment.
They don't understand.
Bro, you got to tune in, baby. You got to tune in.
The Tatum post got some pretty good engagements. It did well on YouTube and Insta for sure.
Yeah, it was half and half.
But yeah, I told you right after. I was like, that Tatum one's gonna do well on IG.
It banged, bro. It banged on YouTube too.
Yeah,
YouTube
facts.
Shorts. It's at like near 4K views.
But yeah, keep showing the love, y'all. Keep showing the love, and we'll keep making the content.
Absolutely. Hey, it's a blessing to do this weekly. You know,
Facts.
Me and you, Matt. It's a blessing. We're doing this for like over a year now.
And
with this new environment, we got our boy Seth in the studio doing work with us. Our producer for this, man. It's a blessing being here.
Yeah.
So yeah. So it's a yap session for me, but it's a very emotional yap session. Hey, hopefully we can do this for a very long time, man. Because I really believe that we can go far with this joint. I truly believe that.
It's one thing to say, and now we just gotta do it.
Have to. Consistency is the key.
But
consistency is the key, man. We gotta have a plan as well, brother. In which we're on that track.
Absolutely. But let's get on out of here. Appreciate y'all listening to the episode. If you made it this far, comment your biggest winner and your biggest loser of NFL free agency in the comments, and we'll see y'all in a week.
Hey, comment if Drake's scary. If Drake need to drop the diss track immediately to sponsor Kendrick, because we do need that though.
That shit's gonna be corny. I'm not gonna lie.
We still need that, bro. Because it's the rap.
Drake can be the corniest person in the world.
He is.
He is.
But he great though.
He great. Oh, absolutely. All
right, man. But we gotta go. Later, y'all, and peace.
Peace.